Hello loves, hello. Welcome to another video. I've just made myself a nice cup of Earl Grey. Oh, I need that. It's gone really cold today here. Freezing. It's been pouring down all day and it's really wintry, and I've been packing orders, and my friend Lucy came over to do co-working. So we realised that Lucy's got a little girl and she often gets distracted at home because she's got a little girl to look after and to do all things. And I get really distracted here because I'm on my own and I'm meant to be doing something, and then I'll go off and do something else. Thanks, Spicy Brain. So on a Thursday we do co-working. So Lucy comes over, she can get on with the drawing while her mum looks after a little girl, and I can get on with doing what I'm meant to be doing, and it's working beautifully. It really is. It's amazing. And we talk, we give each other business ideas. It's just perfect. It's like just a dream for both of us, because we both said, oh, we want to really manifest, you know, another creative person that lives close by and that we can get on with and stuff. And Lucy's vegan as well, like me, so it's just, yeah, it's really wonderful. So you'll see some of that later on in the video. Yesterday we went to our neighbour's funeral. So he's not our direct neighbour next door, he's the next door neighbour but one, Nick, bless him. And our next door neighbour here, Anne, she's so lovely, was Nick's companion for many years. So we went to the funeral yesterday and it was really beautiful send off for him. But while I was sat there, I was thinking, isn't it interesting, because the place was packed, it was full of people, and I thought, isn't it interesting, all these people have come out to see him off on his journey. And do we tell the people in life? Like, Nick was really funny. He used to have a lovely, like, he'd love a gossip. We'd gossip about stuff that was happening in the street, you know, oh, that scaffolding's been up for a while, just silly things. And he did make me chuckle quite a lot, some of the stuff he came out with. But I never said to him, Nick, you're really funny and you make me laugh. It just never entered my head. And it made me reflect when we was at the funeral. What are the things that we don't say to each other in life? And then when somebody's gone, we're like, oh, they were so-and-so, or wish we'd have said that to them. And I was thinking about my own funeral, and I thought, I wonder who'd come. I wonder what they'd say, you know. And it made me think, I am very outspoken anyway to people, and I do tell people, you know, if I think, oh my God, you look beautiful today, or oh, I love your energy, you know, I say all this stuff. And to friends especially, I'll say things. But there are lots of things that we don't say, and it did make me think that we should be more open. We should say more things. We should be able to verbalise these thoughts that we have about people while they're still here, while they're still alive. So it was quite a day of reflection yesterday morning. And then in the afternoon, I've got such exciting news. I don't know whether to say it out loud because it's not fully signed for yet. I think I'll wait for another video. But I went to see something yesterday afternoon. Oh my stars and garters, it is incredible. I really want to share it, but at the same time I have to wait to see if it happens. But yes, something lovely happened yesterday afternoon. I went to see something and it is incredible. And if it does go through, oh my God, I'll bringing you with me on the journey of it. But very exciting, very, very exciting. And I'll do a full video about it if I get to sign on the dotted line for it. So that's a little teaser. This week I have been making lots of zines. I've been resting because it's been my moon time, so I like to have a pause on moon time and do a sacred rest for a few days. One of the days I just really rested and slept, and then another day I was like, I feel creative, but I didn't want to get up and do things, so I stayed on the couch under the duvet with movies on, and I made some zines. So you'll see them in the video, but these are them as the flat, and they're all different zines about insects, and it was really lovely to create. I did it all on my iPad, so I didn't need to get loads of paints and stuff like that out, but it's given me so many ideas for future ones. I also got an amazing piece of furniture off Facebook Marketplace. Oh my god, wait till you see it. Honestly, it's just beautiful. I think because the pictures on Facebook Marketplace didn't show it off to its full potential, I think that's why I've managed to snag it. Or maybe it's divine intervention that it was meant to be mine. But it's gorgeous. I've wanted a sacred writing space for a long time because I'm actually writing a book, and I've done the first chapter and I've got the bones of the whole thing, but I've never carried on with it because I don't know if it's my star sign or because it's just me, I don't know, but I need spaces that are beautiful to put me in that right frame of mind to do something. And you know, I've worked on a kitchen table, I've worked on my knee. Over the years I've had different studios to work in. I've had, currently this is our living room and my studio, so it's like combined. And I know it's a luxury to be able to have different areas for different things, but that's, you know, I'm allowed that now. My children are all grown up. There is more room in the way of, in my life, there's more room, not necessarily like spatial room, but room in my life to have these different things. I don't have to keep tidying away for us all to eat tea and stuff. And I am grateful for that because I remember how hard it is when you've got to do that. But this is very much a working space for doing my orders, making my zines, painting, things like that. So I wanted a dedicated space to actually write where I didn't have to put things away and I didn't have to mix it all up with everything else. So I've got a beautiful bureau off Marketplace. Honestly, I'm like over the moon. It's gorgeous. Wait till you see it. It's beautiful. And it was only £30. It was like, wow, I couldn't believe it when we went to pick it up. And I walked in and I was like, oh, because it was gorgeous. Compared to the photographs, I was like, wow. And it's got little secret compartments in it. Ooh. So I'm really excited. And the people I bought it off, I said, when my book's written and out there, I will post you a copy. Because honestly, it's magic. So I'll show you that in the video as well. It's been really bad weather, so I've not really been out in nature. It's a difficult time of year, this, because it's that rainy season of winter. It's not like you can go out and see all the beautiful, crispy, frosty bits. You know, it's just soggy and it's a bit annoying. So we've just been taking the dog out and then coming back, or Tom's taken Padger out because I've been on my moon time, you know. So there's no nature again. Sorry about that. I have tried when I've like popped to the post office or something. It's just not nice weather, and the light's weird at this time of year. You know, Tom's a photographer and he talks a lot about the light. So I've noticed it more. It's like a flat light at the minute, and it's dark really early. You know, by half 3, 4, it's dark. So there's a lot more of inside coziness going on. Yeah, so that's what I've been up to. All of that good stuff. Cozying, watching movies, started watching the 3rd season of Vikings Valhalla on Netflix. If you've not seen Vikings, oh my god, I love Vikings. I love it so much. I've been reading, I've been knitting, so I'm knitting some leg warmers. I did get a pattern, I can't follow the pattern, so I'm just making it up and hoping for the best. Whether they work or not is another story. And I also, you'll see, got a gorgeous delivery off, I'm going to say, my friend Jane. I watched one of her videos, and in it she said that she's got this bundle of clothes for my friend, and I was like, oh my god, that's for me, I'm a friend. Oh my gosh, look at that. Wow. It's funny, this life, because we meet people online, you never meet them in person, and they become so dear to you. And Jane from Snapdragon Life, I just love everything about her. If you like sewing, bundle dyeing, fabrics, dyeing from plants, dyeing fabrics from plants, Jane's got a lovely group, a lovely studio group that she teaches to. I'm not part of it. I would love to be, but right now I don't have the time to take that on. But I'm sure, I've got every confidence that she's fantastic. And this is one of the dresses that she sent me, so I'll just stand back and show you. It's beautiful. My microphone went inside. If it went fuzzy, I'm sorry. It's beautiful. I don't know if you can see it, but it's got pockets, and it's just, oh my gosh, I love it so much. So I'm so grateful. So Jane, if you're watching, thank you for the beautiful dresses. Honestly, it's given me such a boost. I am so grateful. I've met so many amazing people online, so yeah, thank you for that. Also, thank you for your lovely comments on my last video. I really enjoyed reading them and replying to them. So, should we get into the video? I'm feeling a little bit tired from a full day of doing. So, let's get into the video, should we? And I'll see you soon. So I created these zines on my iPad on Procreate, and my iPad is a piece of equipment that I highly recommend if you are a designer or an artist or illustrator. I think it's just a wonderful piece of equipment. I know there's a big outlay for them in the beginning. We was really lucky because Tom, where he works at a university, they have a special thing where if you want to buy a piece of equipment, they'll buy it and then it comes out of your wages bit by bit. And it's a really low price that comes out of your wages. And because it comes out before you get paid, you don't actually notice it. This was probably about 3 years ago or something. And it's been amazing. It's been so good in the development of my business. And it's so easy because you can just work with it on your knee. And I love Procreate because it's a one-off payment in the beginning, and then you can use it as many times as you want. And it saves all your designs within the app. It's just really easy to use. And the other thing that I use a lot on my iPad is iMovie, which is what I'm editing this video in right now. So I'd say out of all the pieces of equipment that I've ever got for my business, the iPad is one of the best. Now, if you're watching this and you would like to make your own zines, I do have a video on my YouTube channel showing you how to cut and fold and make these zines. Not these ones in particular with the insects on, but the actual like shape of them and which bits you need to put where and how to fold them up and everything. So do have a look at that. I will try and add it to the end of this video. So most of my time as a zine maker is spent on things like this: folding, sewing, packaging, printing. The designing part of it, the creation part of it is really small. That's the part that I love the most, the actual coming up with the ideas, researching the information, looking through loads of books. That's the part that I love, the cutting and sticking, drawing. And then this part is a part that I don't normally really record that much because it's just me sat here. I've probably got YouTube on in the background listening to something, or I've got a podcast on, and I'm just folding zines for hours. I was getting these ones all ready for the Christmas fair, which you'll see at the end of this video, and it was just a treat to make something completely different from my bigger zines. I became a zine maker 9 years ago. That's crazy. 9 whole years that I've been making zines. I did have a period in the middle where I didn't make any. So my first ever zine was called Change the World, and it was all black and white, and it was drawn with a biro, and it was all about things that you can do to change the world. I should really try and find it because I've not got it on my computer or anything. It's actually physically on paper, and I just used to photocopy that same zine to sell it, and I didn't sell it online. It was just sold at craft fairs and things like that. So I'm sure I've got a copy of it somewhere. I will have. I've got a big box and it's full of things like newspaper clippings and all sorts of things like flyers from my business and old business cards and stuff that I've kept. So I'm sure it's in there somewhere. I'll have a route and see if I can find it, because it would be actually fun to bring it back and and get it printed again. So that's the first one I ever made. But before that, if you've never heard this story, when I was a single mum, so I was a single mum to 3 boys at one point under 5, which was crazy. And I used to go around all different playgroups with them and to different events and things to try and keep them entertained. And I created a newsletter for all the playgroups, and it was 50p, and I used to type it up on my typewriter, the whole thing. It was crazy when I think about it now. But I used to do it when they'd gone to bed or when they were playing in the garden or something. And it was the first part of community building that I'd ever done, and I really, really enjoyed it, and I used to sell it for 50p, and people loved it, and that was how I started. I love finding empty snail shells. I've collected these from the garden, and then my friend Cindy brought me a load as well. I just think they're so lovely. Snails are one of my best creatures ever. So this was the first little zine that I made all about insects. It's got facts in the start of it, in the beginning of it, and then it's like a poem. So each one is unique. And I love collecting things when I'm out in nature because they bring the photography that I do for my business to life. But obviously, there's a lot of messing. So here I am, tidying it all back up. And I've got this glass jar, which is perfect for keeping all my bits and pieces in. I've got other things as well, boxes and stuff. But yeah, you've got to tidy everything away, and even though I am quite organised, I am quite a messy person as well. So, for example, when I take my clothes off, I just put them on a chair. I don't actually put them away. But with things like this, I like them to be in a special place, in a certain place, so I remember where they are for next time. And I am a little bit like a magpie, collecting nature's treasures. My beady eyes are all over the show when I'm out on a walk, looking for all sorts of seeds and nuts and leaves and, yeah, all the things. Feathers and shells and just lots of different things. But they work really well, and I've surrounded myself with all these lovely things, and it just feels like home. I've wanted a bureau for as long as I can remember, and I found one on Facebook Marketplace, and it is only £30. I couldn't believe it. So we went off in the car to go and pick it up, and it was so exciting. We've just picked up the bureau. It's even nicer than I imagined. The bureau was so heavy. We're carrying it here from the back of Tom's car. We couldn't get parked any closer because there was too many cars on the street. But it was a super heavy piece of furniture. It's really well made. It's so gorgeous. And wait till you see inside in a minute. You'll just love it. On the photographs on Facebook Marketplace, it looked like this star was painted, but it's actually wood. Is it called parquetry? I think it's called parquetry. It's beautiful, and every little part of it, oh my god. The key, just everything on it is beautiful. Look inside. Look at this. The drawer is one of the original handles. I'd really love to get a full set and replace them. And then look under here, we've got a secret drawer for hiding letters in or other secret notes. And there's one of these on both sides. So I make two types of zines. One that I get printed, outsourced at the printers, Inky Little Fingers, and then another that I sew at home. And these are the ones that I sew at home on my 1926 Singer sewing machine. I think she probably could do with a bit of an oil soon. I love the sound when I'm sewing the zines, the clunking, the squeaking, the rhythmic volume that comes out of when you're making the stitches. It's just such a lovely thing. And I really love analogue things. You know, before I was saying how much I love my iPad, well, I also love old things as well. Since changing the living room / studio round, it feels so much better. It's so cosy. I just love being in it. I just really wish the fire worked because it's cold, very cold. But yeah, I just really love being in it. I love the way that it makes me feel. I like that everything's got its own little space now for making. It just feels so much better. And that wall, I blooming love that wall with all my favourite things on it. So on the Singer sewing machines, there is a part which winds on your bobbins, but mine's broken. Well, I'm not sure actually. It might be broken, or I might need to do something with it. But what I find is if you put your cotton in a jar like this, it doesn't ping all over the place. So you can just hand wind it. Somebody gave me a good tip once about putting your bobbin in, that the thread needs to go clockwise. So you put your thread in clockwise and then you'll be able to make it work. If you try and put it in the other way, it doesn't work. Sorry that my arm's in the way. It's quite difficult recording and doing these things at the same time. Do you know what I really love about these old pieces of equipment? That you don't need any electric, you don't need to plug it in, you can just use it, and they last and last for a lifetime. Things now have got these things built into them where they are meant to break down after a certain amount of years, so therefore you end up still being a consumer and buying more and more. But back in the day, like when that was built in the 20s, things were built to last, and they have lasted. It's called planned obsolescence, and I think it's such a dodgy thing to have. Like when I was a child, I remember my mum's friend used to come and fix the washing machine if it broke down. He was like a washing machine repairman, and he did that for years and years. And now, if your washing machine breaks down, to buy the parts for it or to get it fixed, it costs the same or more than buying a new washing machine. It's just ridiculous. Have you seen the programme on Netflix, a documentary called The Shopping Conspiracy? Oh my gosh, if you've not seen it, watch it. It's so eye-opening. I mean, I'm pretty clued up about a lot of things, but even that was like really eye-opening to me. I do often think about the things that I make and whether it's contributing to the land or harming nature in some way, and that's why that I make sure that the paper that I use to print on at home is sustainable paper, and the printers that I use, Inky Little Fingers, use vegetable ink and forest sustainable paper too.
Hello. I'm Lucy. I'm a friend of Ruby's and I'm honoured to have been on Ruby's YouTube already. Some of you may recognise me. She's asked me to do this video and I'm cringing because I've never done this before. But I'm an artist and I've started drawing teddies. I'm immersing myself in it. I absolutely love creating these little darlings. I mean, look. They just come to me or come through me, and each one has a different personality and energy to them, and it's just such a lovely moment when it just clicks and I'm like, oh hello, you're there. So anyway, I'm selling these originals on my website. It's lucyvanb.com. I also have an Instagram which is the same, lucyvanb, and I'm going to be selling prints of these as well, but once the originals are gone, they're gone. So if you would like one, I have, I think 11 now, and I'm making more every day. I'm loving it. I'm a mum, and I've been really craving creating for a long time, and now I've figured out how to create in a way that's easy. I just have to have my paper, my pencils, and I can just grab a moment and sketch a little bit and carry on and build it up as I go. And on Thursdays now, I come to Ruby's beautiful house and I sit and create in her presence, and it's just been such a life-altering experience, honestly. This has ended up being more about Ruby than my art, but she is a big reason that I'm doing this, and I am so grateful. She's unlocked something in me. Who knew it was Teddy's waiting to come through me? I was working on painting women, and goddesses was my thing for a while, but it's in watercolour and it takes too long. So for now, I'm immersing myself in this. So if you'd like a drawing, paintings will be available soon, but if you'd like a drawing, go to my website. I will be putting videos on YouTube soon as well. That's, coming soon. But anyway, nice to meet you all, and I'll see you again soon. Bye. Oh. It worked so well.
It did, and I did it for ages. I filmed for ages, and then I sat and I watched it, and I was like, oh, this is like spying on someone. I love it. And I'd have never thought to do that myself.
Oh, and it worked so well. It was beautiful to watch. Yeah.
So pleased for you telling me that.
Oh, good.
It's been really good. Sometimes I just really get the urge to paint. I've got nothing in mind, I just want to paint. Painting for me is almost like a meditation. When I'm doing it, when I'm in the zone, nothing else matters, nothing around me exists. It's just me and the paint, and it's a beautiful feeling. And this particular day I was like, I just want to paint something. I'm going to paint two of my favourite things, moss and snails, and I created something really lovely, and it was just fun, and it's just a play. And I want to make this abundantly clear to you as well, if you're watching and thinking, I'm not an artist, I can't do this. You can, it's just playing. Do you remember when you was a child? As a child, you would get out pens and paper, or your mum or your caregiver would give you crayons and paper. Or at school, maybe the teacher gave you things to draw with, and you just did it. You didn't think about the outcome. You didn't think about if it was going to be good enough. What was it going to look like at the end? There was none of that. You didn't think about the competition between you and some other random person who can paint the best, who can draw the best. It was just being in the moment. It was just having fun. It was just experimenting. It was about the process. Not that you knew it was about the process as a child, but that's what it is. It's about the process. The process of picking up art materials and creating, whether that's something at the end where you go, actually, I don't like that, or whether it's something that you do like and you're proud of yourself, it doesn't matter. The whole thing is to lose yourself in time doing something that's good for not only your mind, but it's also good for your soul as well. So I really urge you, if you see videos like mine and think, oh, I could never do that, or I really want to do that, just go for it. Just have a try, because you might surprise yourself. You might actually surprise yourself, not only at the outcome, but how good and freeing it feels as well. There's a couple of things I want to mention that are really important, and I teach this in classes that I hold. Your materials, the money that you spend on your materials is really important for certain things. So my top things are, you want good paper. It's no good buying crappy watercolour paper from, I can't really say the retailers, but like somewhere where you'd get lots of stuff at a cheap price, because the results are going to be crappy. You need to invest in good watercolour paper. The other thing that you need are good brushes. So brushes where the bristles are always falling out are going to be frustrating. You're not going to get the effects that you want. So spend money on good brushes. And depending on what you're painting with, depends on how much you should spend on paint. So if it's watercolour paint, I would recommend spending more on watercolour paint. Before I used Winsor & Newton professional paints, I used to use their basic paints, and the pigment is completely different. So the pigment is how much colour it comes out when the pigment is in the paint to make up the paint, and it depends on how much colour comes out. So the higher the pigment, the better the paint colour that comes out, and I have noticed a massive difference. You don't have to go for professional watercolours if you're just starting out, but also don't go for like $2.99 cheapo watercolour paints, because again the results are going to be rubbish. But for things like acrylics, you want a really good white and a really good black. So spend more money on white and black, and then if you're buying coloured acrylic paints, you can get away with cheaper stuff in the beginning to experiment with and play with. And I've mentioned before in other videos, I really love using tester pots of emulsion in my work as well, and that's because you can get lots of different colours. It's nice and thick, you get a really nice deep pigmented finish, and it's cheap. So if you wanted to paint a massive canvas with loads of different colours, you can do it in a cheap way. So there are few things, paper, paintbrushes and decent watercolour paints, that you want to spend your extra money on, and then just build it up over time. I added the cute little snail paintings to these nature packs that I've created that are now available on my Etsy. I've only got 2 of them available, but they are available now. So they include the cute little watercolour snail, hello little friend. They include some of the zines that you've seen me making, a nature journal zine, affirmation cards, butterfly stickers, scrapbooking packs. Thank you for watching my video. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I will see you soon.